Side dishes and main dishes are great, but what I love about a great festive meal is that dessert. And this brown butter banana cake has the flavor turned up so high that it is like screaming at you, but in a good way because it is delicious. This is a very simple rustic cake. We do not have to go all out with the decorating. I'm just piling it high with delicious mascarpone frosting and some caramelized bananas because come on, if I'm having people over, you know I'm going over the top. To make this cake, just start by browning your butter. You know, I love brown butter and you should always just have some on hand because anything is good with brown butter. I like to use a skillet because it's a little bit wider, gives more surface for the browning, I think helps it go a little bit quicker. Just throw your butter right into the skillet, let it melt slowly, and then keep cooking about on medium heat until it starts to bubble and then it will foam up and slowly that foam will kind of subside or get a lot more soft, if that makes any sense. And then it will brown. When it starts to brown, you wanna watch it really closely because it can go from brown to burnt in like a few seconds. So just make sure to watch it closely and honestly, the nose knows more. You're gonna smell it and it is gonna smell nutty and delicious. When it's brown, just set it aside, let it cool slightly and start with your cake. In a stand mixer, combine your white sugar, brown sugar, and that slightly cooled browned butter. Guys, seriously, brown butter makes me so happy. It's just so good. Mix that together, and no, it's not gonna look like a normal creaming of sugar and butter because the butter's melted, so it's gonna look kind of gross actually, but it's gonna smell delicious. Once that's combined, you can just add your eggs one by one. And yes, I try to, when especially I'm showing you guys, crack my eggs into a separate bowl because I always get shell in them. So when I'm on my own, I probably don't, but for you, I do. And on that third egg, there's definitely a piece of shell, but somehow that got edited out. Once your eggs are combined, you can just add in your vanilla. And no, I don't measure it out. And yes, many times that does kick me, but you know what? It's extra vanilla, and I'm not gonna complain about that. I like to use really ripe bananas because they have the most sweetness and flavor. So if they have some brown spots, that is perfect. Prepare the bananas by mashing them up. Add them to the mixture and mix until fully incorporated. Measure out your buttermilk. That's right, you're using delicious buttermilk in this, and it is gonna add such a great tang. I think buttermilk and bananas just go together, but that's just a personal preference. In a separate bowl, just sift together your dry ingredients, some flour, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. Just use a colander and kind of shake them through just to make sure there's no lumps. Alternately add your dry ingredients with your buttermilk, beginning and ending with your dry ingredients. So the dry ingredients in 3 additions, the milk in 2. Add a little bit of flour, then your milk, a little bit more flour, then your milk. You know the drill. Once you add your remaining flour, you really don't want to overmix at this point. So if there's a few dry streaks, that is completely okay. Just pull it off the mixer and finish it with your spatula just to make sure it's all combined. In 2 8-inch round pans, just spray them really well with baking spray, then put some parchment in the bottom of each one and spray the parchment. I like to buy the pre-cut parchment because it's easy, but you can cut your own parchment. Kudos to you. Pour them evenly into your 2 pans. You don't need to smooth them out because it's a pretty thin batter. And then put them right into your preheated oven to bake. While they're baking, I need to go get my table ready, so you may as well see what I'm gonna do. I start with a really festive tablecloth, of course yellow. Next, your regular dinner plates, then your salad plates. They are so fun. They're like this blue marbled plate. Honestly, you guys, I'm kind of excited. Glasses, and yes, I'm doing 2 because I'm gonna want some wine. We all are gonna want some wine. Your napkins, your forks, knives, spoons. I have to have flowers on my table. It sounds dodgy, it sounds traditional. I need flowers. I think you do too. I'm keeping it really simple, light kinds together. Tulips, hydrangeas. A little bit of grass because the bunnies that I'm gonna put on need some grass. Brown grass, but my grass is brown right now too. And then some vintage bunnies because you know I collect anything that's old. Actually everything that's old, so I have to put them on there. And there you go. And just like that, I think the cake is done too. So I'm gonna let that table just sit there because it is looking so good. I'm gonna pull the cake right out of the oven. You wanna make sure a tester comes out clean. It's honestly almost like a banana bread, but in cake form. Let them cool. And then just turn them out onto a rack. I have an extra rack, so I just kind of turn that upside down, take the pans off, the parchment off, and then turn them right back on the other rack. While they finish cooling, you can make your frosting. For this, I'm using mascarpone cheese. If you can't find it or don't want to, you can just use cream cheese, but it is a slightly, to me, sweeter flavor than cream cheese, so I kind of like it better. Just put some room temperature mascarpone right into your stand mixer and a little bit of butter, just for some extra flavor. Whip that together until it's really well combined. And then add your powdered sugar, some buttermilk just to smooth it out, and vanilla. Because you know you need vanilla in anything almost that's baked. I do. And this is one of those times where I actually added way too much, but hopefully you didn't see that. Once that's whipped up, you can kind of adjust it and add a little bit more sugar if you need to, or a little bit more buttermilk to smooth it out, and you're ready to go. Before you frost it, you wanna make sure the cake is completely cool or that frosting's just gonna melt. And that's just so depressing after you make a cake. Put it right onto your stand. I always have to use a little bit of a cake stand or just a nice plate. And like I said, I'm not gonna make this anything gorgeous. It is gonna be rustic and delicious. That is what matters. Throw some frosting right into the center of your first layer. Spread it out, not quite to the edges, because that next layer is really gonna push it out. Put the next layer of cake on top of that. And then just put the rest of it on top. Smooth it out. You don't need to do the sides. I kind of like to see in between the layers. And then to finish this off, I added a few caramelized bananas, just some brown sugar and butter on the stove, but you don't have to. I had to. They're like candy, honestly. Candy. You are ready to go. You can serve this up. It is perfect for your Easter meal. This is so delicious and it honestly tastes just like spring and Easter. So you definitely need to make this. So now I don't want to hear any of you saying, I don't know what to make for Easter. I can't have anyone over. You have a side dish, you have a main dish, and now you have dessert and the table. People, if you aren't inspired after this, I give up. Seriously, I've given you some great building blocks and I can't wait to hear how you're using them to have an awesome Easter holiday. Make sure to click like, share this around, and have a really happy Easter because you guys are making my Easter all the more special.